So for 2 years, my husband and I searched for campers. We didn't know if we wanted a pull behind, if we wanted to have a drivable. And then when it came to pull behinds, did we want to upgrade the truck and get a bigger one? Or did we want to stick with something that was within our towing capacity? So we found this particular unit for sale at a local dealership, and it was a used 2022. So we were able to get into a camper without having to pay big bucks. I mean, we still paid a pretty penny, but it wasn't as much as it could have been. So I wanted to give you a tour of our camper so that you could see what it actually looks like when someone has their things in there. So you can see what the camper is outside of a sales video. And you can also hear some honest opinions about what we like and what we don't like. Coming in the front of our Forester 2551, you can see where we hang our keys and the map that we have showing the places that we've been and the places that we've camped. We've only had our camper since September of 2022. It is now March of 2023. So we have been to 2 states so far. And in the kitchen, you can see our Magic Chef refrigerator freezer combination. It is 11.7 cubic feet. Inside, we've got a few things that are a little different from other ones. I have tension rods that keep everything in place, and also have a drink holder that pushes all the drinks to the front. I have a little container that we'll put meat and cheese in. We put it in the drawer, and then it's good there. The freezer, there's nothing in there. We just came back from our camping trip, so it's completely emptied. And then further into the kitchen, you can see our convection microwave oven. It's a learning curve. We have only really been able to cook cookies and biscuits in there. I also have a utensil holder. It suctions down to the countertop there. It stays in place when we're traveling. It hasn't moved at all. And then our magnet for our knives. It's not mounted to the wall specifically with screws. It's just held in place with some 3M tape and some industrial strength adhesive. It's a 3-burner cooktop. It's propane. We've really enjoyed it the past couple months since we've been able to use it. This past camping trip, we normally cook outside, but we were able to cook inside this time, and it worked out really well. We only set the smoke alarm off once, and it wasn't even smoking. Above the stove area, we have our cabinets, that we have our cups, bowls, paper plates. I have a little basket that I keep our Tupperware in. We also have a thermometer that is inside and outside. We have a little digital reader that goes outside, and it gives us the temperature outside as well. And then on the other side, I have some containers that has some rice and pasta, some coffee, a couple Rainforest Cafe cups that we give to our 7-year-old. And then beneath that is the sink. And then we have our paper towel holder that we bought from Amazon and mounted to the wall. Again, it's nothing that's screwed. It's just held in place by 3M tape. We have a family member of ours that is building us a sink topper that'll give us a little more area when we're cooking, and you can kind of set out your buffet on the counter, and then you don't have this abyss that is a sink that you can't really use when you're not washing dishes. Or you can put stuff in the sink and put the topper on top of it, and then you can't see anything. The soap dispenser is Scrub Daddy, and it is used 2 ways. The top, you can press down and get soap onto your sponge, or you can squeeze from the bottom and it shoots soap out the bottom. It's really cool, actually. It's one of my favorite gadgets. And then a little further over, you can see the charging station. It works for my Apple just fine. It doesn't really work for my husband's Android. We would have much preferred a little pop-up tower of power. That way we could have plugged our toaster, coffee maker, Instapot, things like that in. It's really funny when we have the toaster plugged in, since all of our outlets are flush mounted underneath the upper cabinets. The toaster does not reach. Its cord is not long enough. So we have to bring out the leveling blocks that we have stored outside, bring them in, raise the toaster up, and then use it. So it's kind of comical. And then I have some artwork that's just from Hobby Lobby. It's held in place with command strips. And then I have a little hammock that's marketed for fruit, held in place with some command strips and hooks, 2-pound little strips. I put bread in there. So it's a bread hammock, not a fruit hammock. Underneath, we have some drawers that are all soft close. And then this cabinet here is just kind of a hodgepodge of pots and things. And then the first drawer is our utensils, plasticware, ice cream scoop, measuring, and then some other little foldable gadgets. Underneath that is another hodgepodge. I have some cling film, pot holders, more utensils, some cutting boards that are there. They're real thin. They're really cool, flexible. And then underneath that, right now it's empty because my dish strainer is inside getting washed properly. And then underneath there's just a junk drawer, some Ziploc bags, some koozies, some other things like that. Stuck a little bit there. I have an over the door towel holder. And then underneath the sink, there's big storage. We have a couple things in there. Lysol wipes. And then Swiffer, our museum wax is down there. And this is the TV. It's held in place with magnets because what was installed originally failed. We bought our camper in 2022 used. It is a 2022, so there are little things that we've modified here. You can see some original screw holes where the original latch was that broke, I guess, for the first owner. And then the dealership replaced it with this button type holder. But then again, it broke. It was our second time out with the camper. And then I'm sitting in the passenger seat. And of course, Craig is driving. And the television pops open. So I had to unbuckle, quickly come back to the back, grab some extra command strips, stick them to the door and close it and pray that it didn't come open again. It didn't. So to prevent that, I added some new latches. And when you open the door, it's got a snug fit. The latches that I have replaced them with are magnetic. There are 2 of them. One there, and then of course the other one that is there. And then on the back side of the TV are the catches. They're metal. They're just screwed in place. And then when you close it, it has a good seal. You can actually hear it when it clicks shut. When I close it, you'll be able to hear it on camera. Then I have a command holder for the remotes. Originally, it's supposed to be on the wall, but I have mounted it onto the back of the TV so that our 7-year-old doesn't tactically acquire those remotes and lose them. It happens a lot at home, so we wanted to prevent that from happening in the camper. Behind the television, there is quite a bit of storage. We have our Keurig, an ice maker, our HEPA filter that you do not leave home without, especially with 3 dogs in your camping. And then there's that toaster. I also have a handheld vacuum cleaner and just a hodgepodge of paper towels, coffee pods. I think I have a French press in there, but it's very well hidden behind the mess. And then this is the closing of the door. You'll be able to hear that latch. It's shut. It will not open until you open it. And then to the right of the television is a pantry storage. It's kind of shallow because on the other side of it is the actual closet in the bedroom. So when we bought the camper, I wanted to be able to bring some spices with us, but I wasn't able to bring a traditional spice rack. So I bought some tins. They are magnetic, and they're originally supposed to be stored on the refrigerator. But my fear was, as we were traveling, if we hit a bump and if they came off of the refrigerator, that those spices would open and land all over my floor. And then my dogs would get to it, and then we'd have a sneeze fest. So I decided, instead of putting them on the refrigerator, that I would buy a metal piece. It's just 3M'd to the wall, and I have stuck them inside the pantry. So if they fall out in the pantry, they're contained to the pantry. And then I can clean it up from there. We store our camper at home, so the food that you see here is generally left in. It's been cold, so we haven't really been worrying about the food storage situation. But as it warms up, we live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so it's very humid. We have a dehumidifier that we run all the time. But we will probably clean out some of this pantry in the coming weeks. And below that is another pantry storage. It's about the same size. We have our storage area that we keep the shells and cheese, because Peyton is a big fan of those. And she also likes cereal. Normally it's 50-50. One half is Velveeta cheese and the other half is the cereal bowls. But she wiped us out on this last trip. And then there's just a few other things in here. Normally it's a little more stocked. We keep our snacks in here so that Peyton's not trying to climb over the couch to get to the upper cabinets. And then some soda, some V8, and some other things. And that is the kitchen. This is the master area. This bed is very difficult to make because it is in a slide out of its own. And then the area to move around the bed is very tight. If you have any junk in the trunk, you will not fit. It's kind of hard for me. And then behind the pantry area is the closet. It's kind of a snug fit. I added some little command hooks, hang my hat on there. And then there is a little hanging basket that we'll put things in. And the other side we can put our clothes, if we have any hanging clothes to hang. I store a fan in there. There's a couple other things that get stored in there when we're camping. I generally put my purse there, so it's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Above the bed, when you've made it and you've done your balancing act, trying to make the bed from the top to the bottom, because that's really the only way that you can do it. We have some upper cabinets. I really don't keep anything up there besides blankets. With the dogs, we like to have them lay on blankets at night. It just makes it a little easier for them. Of course, there's the little pug lights above the bed that are, able to be turned on and off. We rarely use those. One of my dislikes, and it really comes here, this is my dislike. Craig's got some dislikes on the outside, but I do not like the position of that window. It is directly behind the bed. I would have much preferred to have 2 windows on the side, so when that pop-up is out, you could open windows on one side or the other. When it's behind the bed like that, since this bed is so difficult to make, you end up tossing your pillows to the back. And with that glass there, not that I think I'm going to throw a pillow through the window. I just don't like how it hits the curtain. I've actually seen a video of someone that had some decorative film that they put over their window so that, you could see out, but it made it difficult for other people to see in. We may do that so I can just kind of keep the blind raised so that, I don't have to throw my pillows and it ricochet off the curtain. Our big picture window in the back, it's looking at our neighbor's backyard right now. And then to the side, there's a mount for the television that will probably never get mounted because we don't need a TV in the bedroom. I'll probably find some sort of canvas to stick over top of that, just so it's a little more pleasing to the eye versus having that hook up there. And that is the bedroom. There is a little skylight that you can open. There's no fan. It's just a vent. We would like to change that to have a max air fan there. We'll do that eventually, but not right now. Just to the right of the bedroom, behind a door, is the bathroom. It's a good size for a camper. When we were originally looking at campers, my hard limit was a wet bath. This is far from that, so this works out pretty well. The shower itself is a decent size. My husband at 5'10" fits in there, and me at 5'5" fit in there pretty well. We don't like to keep the bottles of things, and my husband really washes with soap. He has no hair, so there's no need for shampoo or conditioner for him. So everything that is on the wall is for me. I added this. I bought it from Amazon for the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. It just kind of keeps everything in the shower tidy. I don't have to have bottles. There's nothing flying around, and it works out well for our needs. I do want to add a curtain rod so that I can have a shower curtain, so it's a little more appealing. I can close it, and then you don't have to see what's in there. You don't have to see my shower or anything. So just spruce it up, give it a little color, because it is pretty blah. The medicine cabinet holds quite a bit of stuff. I have some Benadryl, Tylenol, heartburn medicine, basically everything that I need camping, and I don't want to remember to bring back and forth between the house. And it stays shut. We haven't had any problems of it opening. And then below, we have a toothbrush holder. I bought it from Amazon. It's supposed to hold 2 toothbrushes, but we've made it work for 3. And it holds the toothbrushes, the toothpaste. There's even a spot for a razor, but I don't think we'll ever use it. And everything that you see there, we just got back from camping. So we literally just parked this thing. Parked it, I cleaned it, opened the slides back up. That has not moved. It stays there. And that it went through travel. It didn't move at all. Nothing fell. So it worked really well. We do have a porcelain toilet. It is a foot flush. It's decent. It's a decent toilet. We've watched videos before that they talk about the triple P, the premium pooping position. That's not it. When that door closes, you're in there. It'll work. We prefer to use the bathhouse sometimes, so we try to park pretty close there. And then I have the mat. I bought it from Amazon. Most everything that I've bought for this camper has come from Amazon. A little macrame crescent moon. There's not a whole lot of storage in this bathroom. I would prefer them to have maybe something in this corner that you could have put some toiletries in, because underneath the sink itself, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of storage. But it does get the job done. To the right of the bathroom, we have some storage. You could use it for extra pantry storage, but we generally use it for clothes. Since I don't utilize the cabinets above the bed for clothes, I utilize this space here. We have some little cloth baskets that I'll have my extra clothes, Peyton's extra clothes, Craig's extra clothes, and then like just a basket that's got some randomness. And then above there, I normally have my towels there. I'll roll them so that they're in a good tight roll, and then I just tuck them away up there. The tension rods help them stay standing up, and I can utilize the front of that area to put other things. But it does go back pretty deep, and it closes, it stays closed. So it is really nice. Has a good thunk when you close it. Beneath the little extra clothes area, I have some drawers. They're not super deep. They're not super long, but they do fit your clothes for a weekend trip. It'll be interesting when we try to go on a longer than 4-day trip. So that's to come. We'll see how that goes. But when you close the drawers, they are soft close, and they'll suck back in on themselves. So the top is for my husband. The middle is for me. The bottom is for our 7-year-old. So everybody has their own clothes. Moving on into the living room, we have our jackknife sofa. And the middle piece there will also fold up so that it can lay flat. It'll jackknife down into a bed. It's okay. It's not the most comfortable. I did nap there this weekend when we were camping in Tickfaw. And as soon as I laid it down, our 90-pound German Shepherd, our 12-pound mini Dachshund, and then the 7-year-old all climb up there with Mom to take a nap. So Mom can't nap alone. Dad can nap alone. Mom can't. And then everything that's on the wall is just held in place with command strips. We're going to remind you to be our guest. Just don't expect too much. Behind the couch, there's actually a pass-through that you can reach the outside storage. We don't really utilize that very much. So I've got some decorative things that just kind of sit out. The wine bottle holder will actually collapse, and I put that away when we're traveling. But the lantern stays in place. It's held down with museum wax, and it doesn't move. So far, we really have enjoyed it. I like my little decorative touches. And then what I like the most that I've bought from Amazon are those inflatable ottomans. They're lightweight. They're comfortable, and you can actually take them and toss them. It's just an inner tube on the inside. When we are traveling, when we don't need them, I'll move them and actually just kind of roll them in front of the bed, and they'll stay there. They both go there. That's great. The pillows that I have on the sofa and on the booth, I got from Amazon. Their covers, had to buy the pillows separate, but I do enjoy them. And then as far as the cabinetry above the couch and the booth, I have a few things up there. Mostly above the sofa is snacks, chips, waters, drinks, and there's even some dog treats in here. But these are also soft close, so when you close them, they'll suck in on themselves, and it works. And then over here, I have more of a hodgepodge of things. This one is where we keep all of our games. Board games, Connect 4 card games. We actually have Uno, and we played it this weekend. And we taught our first grader to play Uno for the first time. And the very first game, she beats us. That was fun. Have a piece of humble pie from a 7-year-old. And then above here, I have a heater. It's kind of hard to see because it's a little dark. But in the storage bin, there's also a Polaroid camera and then some other things there. The Polaroid camera, it's great. It's Kodak. And then here on the wall, it's just command stripped with some foliage, greenage. It's just a state park of Louisiana. We live in Louisiana, so we're trying to go to the state parks. We've marked off the 2 that we've been to. Like I said, we've only had our camper since September of 22, and it being March. We've gotten to camp a little bit, at least once a month. We've really, really had a good time. We've really enjoyed this camper. This is the cab of our Forester 2551. We're sitting on a Chevrolet chassis. It's a 4500. We haven't seen Chevrolet very often in this model, if at all, honestly. But the seats are pretty comfortable. We do have just a regular rear view mirror that allows you to see back into the living area. So you can kind of keep an eye on the dogs. We can keep an eye on our daughter, make sure that she's buckled. And then in the center, you can see the Sony display there. That's where our cameras are. We have side cameras, left and right for the blinker, and then one for the back. So it'll stay on constantly. I kind of like it there. I prefer having it there versus it being in the rear view mirror. It makes it a little easier glance to the right when you're driving. Above the cab is the loft area. Our daughter loves it. This is her own space. I've added the hammock that she has her toys in. So everything has its place. It's kind of up and out of the way. And then it just looks a little neater. She's got a pillow in the back, the blue one with the arms. She'll sit there and read her books. She's been reading Junie B. Jones, and it's so cute to hear her read. I absolutely love it. I wish she would read some of my favorites. You know, Laura Ingalls Wilder's one of them. We'll get there. I'll persuade her eventually. And then we have our little sleeping bag. It is a wolf that we found at Walmart. It came with its own kit. The sleeping bag, a nightlight, a duffel bag. It's really cute. She'll close the curtains. She'll tell us it's for kids only. No adults allowed.